We celebrate the athletes, the buzzer beaters, the record breakers, the wins. Now, it's time to celebrate the people behind it all. The advice givers, the community shapers, the game changers, the life changers. It's time to celebrate our coaches. Join all of us at BSN Sports and show your coach some love by sharing their story with #ThankYouCoach.
10 seconds. That's all it takes for nicotine to reach your brain when you vape, affecting your heart rate, blood pressure, and ability to concentrate. Champions are made in a matter of seconds. Don't count yourself out. Stay focused on what matters. You can quit vaping. Find free resources at sedheck.gov.
If you're in the Civic Center, come to the center court. Come to the center court. Noel Wilson.
Hello, hello. Welcome. Please make yourself comfortable. Okay, let's start by watching a short video.
All kinds of kids like vape inside the bathrooms at school.
They are so easy to hide.
I just kind of tried it because it looked cool.
It looks cool.
I want to talk to my parents.
Really easy to get.
Nobody knows.
I don't know how.
My dad's great. He's just not so easy to talk to.
Feeling down? The nicotine in vapes affects your brain's serotonin levels, messing with your mood and throwing off your game. What starts as subtle side effects can quickly have serious consequences on your mental and physical health. Find free quit support options at www.quitnowsc.org.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is SkeezaTV.net. Welcome to tonight's matchup in the 3A, PEE DEE versus Orangeburg Preparatory Academy. Now, a couple things to get going here. We're going to have some introductions by Mr. Pat Black here on the court tonight before the game begins. But if you're watching this on a small screen and you happen to have a smart TV in your house, I would recommend that you go to your Apple TV 4 or your Roku device or your smart TV, download the Boxcast app. From there, you'll tune to Skeeza TV, SCISA TV, and watch it on the biggest screen in your house. It'll look absolutely great. And you'll feel like you're right inside the Sumter County Civic Center. If you can't make it, if you're driving in, keep on coming. I want you to be here and cheer these teams on. Tonight, we are going to be have some play-by-play commentary by Mr. Brett Williams, who's going to give us some great, interesting insight. I promise you, you're going to watch the game and listen to what you learn. There's some good stuff going on. And also, if you did not know this, tonight there's one more game after this, if I've got it right. And you don't want to mess up. You don't want to miss it. So stay tuned. Watch. Be a part of the night. And if you're watching on social media, guess what? You can like and share and let your friends know. And be sure, if you know some of these kids' family who weren't able to make it, let them know that they can watch this game live on SkeezaTV.net, SCISATV.net. We're going to join Mr. Pat Black, the public address system announcer here from Sumter Civic Center.
Class AAA State Championship. The take on the Orangeburg Prep Lady Indians from Orangeburg, South Carolina, for the title. South Carolina Independent School Championship events, such as our basketball games today, showcase the best teams and many of the best athletes in the league. These events also bring out the very best in sportsmanship from the players, coaches, and fans of the participating schools. And today is no exception, as the two participating schools in our Class AAA Girls Championship game, PEE DEE Academy and Orangeburg Prep, are noted for their sportsmanship, fair play, and respect for the game of basketball. So we can expect an exciting and well-played AAA Girls Championship game. Now let's meet the players, coaches, and participants in today's 3A Girls Championship game. First, the designated visiting team from Mullins, South Carolina, the Golden Eagles of PEE DEE Academy. Under head coach Megan Thomas, the Lady Eagles are 22-4 on the year, 22 wins and 4 losses. They will start this afternoon at guard, the senior, number 4, Claire Eskridge. At guard, also a senior, number 10, Claire Owens. At forward, a junior, number 11, Cindy King. Rebecca Hammond, number 22, gets the nod at guard. She is a senior. And also at forward, a senior, number 23, Katie Estes. The remainder of the Golden Eagles basketball team, number 3, Madison Baxley. Number 12, Caroline Elvington. Number 13, Kendall Larimore. Number 5, Sarah Bethay. Niley Causey, number 24. Number 30, Carly Carroll. And Meredith Larimore, number 20. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's meet the starting lineup for the Lady Indians of Orangeburg Prep. From Orangeburg, South Carolina, and head coach Jan Stoudemire. The Lady Indians have a record of 26 wins and 1 loss on the way on the year, and they are the designated home team in their white uniforms. Starting this afternoon for Orangeburg Prep at guard, a junior, number 2, Anna Lambert. Also at guard and a senior, number 3, Annabelle Hunter. At forward, also a senior, number 5, Jane Walker-Yachts. Wearing number 11, Grayson Garrett, a senior, forward. And at forward, also a senior, number 15, Izzy Exum. The remainder of the Lady Indians basketball squad, number 4, Gigi Riley. Number 10, Preston Shernight. Number 12, Mary LaGree Delaney. Number 13, Jamie Culler. And number 14, Kate Holstein. And now, ladies and gentlemen, to honor America and to remember, recognize, and acknowledge the men and women of the United States Armed Forces who protect and defend our country so that we may enjoy a way of life that is unmatched in human history, you're asked to rise as you are able and face the flag that is located at the west end of the Sumter County Civic Center. Please join the Golden Eagles and the Lady Indians in offering this symbol of freedom and liberty the courtesies it deserves as prescribed by the United States Flag Code. Join in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag and remain standing for our national anthem. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Now let's turn our attention to tournament and championship basketball. The officials assigned to tonight's game. The referee is Joe Bird. The umpire is Torian Nunn. Cody Hayes is umpire number 2. The clock operator is Adam Jarecki. And Caroline Bonnet is the official scorer. There's a title on the line. Time to get behind your team for 32 minutes or more. Here we go.
They wear the visiting blues, and they're taking on the Lady Indians of Orangeburg Prep, about 60 miles to our southwest in Orangeburg. They're in the home whites, and they are the favorites today by a lot of different metrics, and even just chatting with PD assistant coach Scott Webster in the pregame, he said as much, but certainly PD brings a lot of firepower defensively to match what Orangeburg Prep can do offensively, as you just see a turnover there as these teams have traded miscues to open our contest. PD Academy is 22-4 on the season. Orangeburg Prep is 23-1, so very few defeats have these teams suffered combined on the season. We see a foul called here on Jane Walker-Yantz of Orangeburg Prep, first of the game on either side. Orangeburg Prep has not lost a game since November 26th, so only their third game of the season. It was the only time that they've been defeated. They have won 21 in a row. But the problem is, for them, is Jane Walker-Yantz, one of their stars, just picked up her second personal foul less than a minute into the game. And it puts Rebecca Hammond at the line for PD Academy, so Yantz has to sit. One of the seniors, one of the bigs for Orangeburg Prep. She's not too happy with the calls. She's trying to argue her point to anyone who will listen on her team's bench. But all of a sudden, that puts the pressure on the Lady Indians a bit. However, Rebecca Hammond goes 0 for 2 at the stripe, so no harm done yet for Orangeburg Prep. Let's get you the rest of those starters. Orangeburg Prep puts out in the backcourt Hannah Lambrecht, who wears number 2, Annabelle Hunter, number 3, as you see, controlling. Then aforementioned Jane Walker-Yantz, who we probably won't see for quite some time. In the front court, number 11, Grayson Garrick, and number 15, Izzy Exum. And a traveling violation called against Hunter. Number 10, Preston Sherl-Knight just came in off the bench for Yantz, so we'll probably see a lot of the junior in this one. Meanwhile, for PD Academy, their point guard is the trigger woman here, number 4, Claire Eskridge. She's joined in the backcourt by Rebecca Hammond, number 22, and by Claire Owens, number 10. And the forwards for the Lady Eagles are number 11, Sydney King, and number 23, Katie Estes. It's been a very staccato start to this game. 2 fouls called, a number of turnovers each way. Still looking for points. But only a minute and 15 seconds gone in this one. Here's Claire Owens. Tried to feed it inside to the high post. Estes was the intended target. Now here's Claire Eskridge, who Scott Webster said has really come into her own as this season's gone on. She gets it all the way across to Hammond, who quickly draws the third team foul against Orangeburg Prep. That is on Grayson Garrick. And so now Hammond will go to the line where she missed her first 2, and that's a bit surprising because Rebecca Hammond is, without question, the engine that makes PD Academy go. 0 for 3 she starts. If you look statistically at PD Academy, Rebecca Hammond absolutely owns this team. 18.5 points per game, best on the team. The second highest average is all the way down at 5.8. And the seal has been broken. She starts 1 of 4. She is tied for the team lead in rebounds at 6.3. She is way ahead in front in assists and steals. She does a bit of everything. And certainly she will be a factor in this game if PEE DEE Academy is to achieve its goal of winning its first state championship since 2008 in girls basketball. Top of the key, here's Annabelle Hunter. Now to Hannah Lambrecht. Back and forth they go. Nearly picked her pocket, did Claire Owens. Still loose. Owens flying around for it. Jump ball is called. Possession arrow favors PEE DEE Academy. And they are fired up.
PEE DEE has the possession arrow.
Now the Lady Eagles have won 3 state championships all time. Again, none in the last 17 years, so trying to snap quite a long drought. But it's even longer for Orangeburg Prep, a team that's been relevant for quite some time but just hasn't been able to break through. They are looking for their first state title since 1991. And it would be the first here for Jan Stoudenmeyer, who's been a legendary head coach at the helm of the Lady Indians for 28 years. Finally trying to get that ring she has long sought for her teams. Turnover forced by Orangeburg Prep. Hannah Lambrecht comes away with it. Bounce pass to Annabelle Hunter. Open for 3. High arcer doesn't go. Rebounded by Sherl-Knight offensively. And she is fouled by Claire Eskridge, her first and the team's second. Now, another thing you're going to watch today is the battle of offense and defense. PEE DEE Academy is a defensive-minded team. They have held 15 opponents on the year to 25 points or less. That is certainly hard to do. But Orangeburg Prep, on the other hand, has only had 3 games all year in which they have not reached 50. So it is a stark strength-on-strength here, offense versus defense. And we'll have to watch how the style of game gets played here. Ball has been loose and all over the place on both sides of the floor. Dumped down to the low block. They play the in and out game, still looking to connect from downtown. It just hasn't been there yet. We're over 3 minutes gone here in the state title game, and no shots have been made from the floor. Just 1 free throw out of 4 attempts. And yet another turnover here. Jump ball favors Orangeburg Prep, and so here I go talking about PEE DEE Academy's defense, but it's Orangeburg Prep's defense that's really causing issues for the Lady Eagles. That's several times now they've just stolen a pass immediately off the inbound, and now they finally connect from downtown. It's Hannah Lambrecht off the baseline out of bounds, and it is 3-1 in favor of the Lady Indians. Foul is called here going after the loose ball. And I think they'll get Rebecca Hammond of PEE DEE. Check that, they get Estes. So 3 fouls called aside. Long 2 on the way. Clangs around, doesn't fall for Garrick. Rebound won by PEE DEE Academy. Claire Eskridge tried to break away. That Lady Indians defense is swarming. Bounce passes free the Lady Eagles. Nice job working through the transition. And now they'll set up the offense. Claire to Claire up top. Eskridge and Owens. Here's Eskridge. Unexpected cut, lobbed it in. Somehow Estes got it. Now wide open, Rebecca Hammond, bang! And she is not someone you can leave open if you're Orangeburg Prep. Again, 18.5 points per game. And on the season, she is 46 of 93 from beyond the arc, which is basically 50%. That is ridiculous. Great box out there. PEE DEE Academy able to hang on. Every pass on both sides seems to be dangerous. Another near steal. Claire Owens maintains. That was deflected, and Owens the last to touch it. Great job by Mary Legree Delaney for Orangeburg Prep to get that deflection. I'd say the fan support is maybe 60-40 PD, and that's also aided by the fact that the PD Academy boys will be playing later tonight in the nightcap here for the 3A boys state title game, and they are occupying Orangeburg Prep scoring end right now along with the cheerleaders. You see them wearing their blue warm-up coats and pants and such to the right of your screen. So adding a little bit of extra support for their Lady Eagles. We will have that game roughly 15 minutes after the conclusion of this one right here on Skiza TV. This is a foul called against Lambrecht of Orangeburg Prep. Check that, they get Annabelle Hunter instead. Her first as well. Another near turnover, Owens, and a jump ball called. We've seen that 3 times now as well. Possession arrow stays with PD. Very much a feeling each other out kind of game, isn't it, Arthur?
They are figuring it out. They're trying. It's a little go and tug and go.
Well, certainly the longer it goes like this, it certainly will favor PD Academy. They want this game to be a low-scoring contest. Another ball out of bounds, another turnover. We do not have live stats, obviously, not something that many high school outfits are equipped with, but certainly the turnover totals are high for both teams for the first 5 minutes of the game.
Maybe we can put a bug in Mr. Fanning's ear.
Maybe, you never know. Pretty good setup we've got, I will say that.
Hey.
You're over here working cameras and all kinds of different things going on. That will stay once again with Orangeburg Prep as we see Katie Estes check back in. Again with that one foul, Sydney King gets a breather. Mary Legree Delaney passes it in. Another corner 3 up for Lambrecht. Doesn't fall. Tipped out by Estes, they say. I believe the chant from the PD cheerleaders is, let's get a little bit rowdy. They want their defense to stay minding its P's and Q's, but they can't track Lambrecht, who's now 2 for something downtown. Again, don't know how many attempts she has had, but she's made 2 straight now. Oh, zip pass ahead to Estes, and she'll shoot 2.
That was quick.
Now on Indian number 12, Mary Legree Delaney. Sending to the free throw line, Katie Estes. Estes shooting 2.
So Estes to the line. So far, free throws have not dropped much this evening. Don't have a ton of free throw stats available for most of either of these teams. We just have some of the gaudy numbers from Rebecca Hammond. The game now tied at 5 as it appears that Hannah Lambrecht was only credited with a 2 for that last shot. So she has all 5 points for Orangeburg Prep here in this quarter. Hammond has 4 for PD, and then that last one coming from Katie Estes. All the way across, Lambrecht fires again. Too much. Rebounded by Hammond. Here she goes. Doesn't have numbers, and then had it swiped, but not fully cleanly by Garrick. Again, if you're just joining us, Jane Walker-Yantz, one of the leading scorers for Orangeburg Prep, picked up 2 fouls in the first minute of the game. So she's been sitting ever since. We'll see how long Jan Staudenmeyer keeps her on the bench. Hammond drives, tosses it up, doesn't go. A little bit of contact, but nothing there. And now Annabelle Hunter works her way through traffic, finds Kate Holstein. Bounce pass intercepted by Eskridge. One of quite a few seniors on PD's roster this year. King tosses it up. Here's Claire Owen. She's another one. Actually in her first year with PD after transferring in from Christian Academy. Ooh. That is a walk.
For a second there, I thought we were getting ready to play football.
I think so.
Or rugby, maybe.
Yeah, a little bit of a rugby scrum there. Or actually not a scrum. Let me get my rugby terms right. That was, I think, a ruck is what was forming there.
As long as we don't talk about cricket, right?
Yeah, that I don't have. I don't have much on that. Almost another steal by Hunter. Owens fighting for territory. That's also a rugby thing.
There you go.
Hammond playing for contact, didn't get any, and another great effort by Owens to fight for that rebound and at least flip the possession arrow in her team's favor.
Possession arrow points to Orangeburg.
Again, PE DEE Academy has held 15 opponents this season to 25 points or less. They're certainly on target to do that again here, but Orangeburg Prep is a team that's only been held under 50 3 times. Here's Hunter, slips behind some defenders. Her shot doesn't drop. Let's see if PD slows it down and plays for the last shot. Orangeburg Prep might not let them. Their defense has been all over the place. Getting in passing lanes, creating havoc for ball handlers. Case in point, another jump. No, there was a foul called this time. Let's see who they get. They get Katie Estes on the counter attempt. She doesn't like it, doesn't really believe it. Having a quick word with the official. That's her second. So the first time we've seen a Lady Eagle with 2 fouls.
Number 11, Cindy King, returns to the court.
Now it'll be Orangeburg Prep's turn to try to hold for the final shot. Hunter across. Never mind. They'll take it right now. It's an air ball from Delaney and secured on the far side by Hammond, who takes steps. 7.3 seconds to go in this quarter. It has been a dogfight, tooth and nail. Just 5 points aside. Lambrecht, bounce pass. Hunter. 5 seconds. Has to move. 3 ball up from Delaney.
Oh!
And it comes up just short. Well, fighting for every inch are the Lady Indians and the Lady Eagles. 5 points aside through our first 8 minutes here at the state finals.
And we'll be back right after this on SkeezaTV.net.
We celebrate the athletes, the buzzer beaters, the record breakers, the wins. Now, it's time to celebrate the people behind it all. The advice givers, the community shapers, the game changers, the life changers. It's time to celebrate our coaches. Join all of us at BSN Sports and show your coach some love by sharing their story with #ThankYouCoach.
Feeling down? The nicotine in vapes affects your brain's serotonin levels, messing with your mood and throwing off your game. What starts as subtle side effects can quickly have serious consequences on your mental and physical health. Find free quit support options at www.quitnowsc.org.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching Skeeza Basketball on SkeezaTV.net. 3A PE DEE versus Orangeburg Prep.
Thank you, Arthur. Brett Williams and Arthur Sharp here with you. We appreciate your coming along with us. First quarter was a true defensive struggle. A lot of steals, forced turnovers. It wasn't really an ugly first quarter like some might think if you're just joining us, just seeing the scoreboard there. It was actually just tenacious defense on both sides. Fights for rebounds, loose balls, a lot of jump balls. Some fouls were called. Haven't seen a lot of clean looks. Orangeburg Prep has tried to shoot the ball from outside. Hannah Lambrecht's connected once from distance and once from just inside the arc, and she's responsible thus for the only 5 points that Orangeburg Prep has. Rebecca Hammond has 4 and Katie Estes 1 for PE DEE Academy on 1 made 3 and 2 made free throws. That is all to report. Annabelle Hunter nearly has it stolen again by Claire Owens. Again, PE DEE Academy is the team that tends to make its money on the defensive side of the floor. 3 ball up and out from Annabelle Hunter. Rebounded by PE DEE Academy. Here comes Claire Owens. But Orangeburg Prep has matched them defensively tonight. Long 2 from Katie Estes. Too long. And out to the Lady Eagles. Come to public schools. Hammond and the foul. That's the first made bucket in the paint. this entire game.
Foul on Indian number 10, Dustin Simpson.
So PEE DEE Academy lost to a couple of public schools on the Grand Strand, Socastee and Carolina Forest, one of those being in overtime. They have found ways to get it done, and that's exactly what assistant coach Scott Webster told me pregame about Rebecca Hammond. He said she is among the most tenacious and toughest players I've ever encountered, and it's her playing at a constant pace, a constant intensity that makes her able to overcome, for somebody who's a bit undersized for a hybrid player, pretty much anything that's in her way. Her team now leads by 3. That seems like a large gap the way this game is coming, and points are at a premium. Steal by Estes. She's been around a lot, playing with 2 fouls. Eskridge dribbles her way into a double team. Ball is loose. Picked up by Hammond. Hammond taking on the entire Orangeburg Prep defense. It does not work, and Mary Legree Delaney comes away with the rebound for the Lady Indians. Now the tip. Eskridge with a clean steal, trying to break behind the defense. And the layup doesn't fall. Hammond is fouled after the offensive rebound. That's the first really fast break we've seen, right?
There you go.
I mean, we've seen a lot of turnovers around half court, but the defenses have retreated, or the ball's maybe gone out of bounds. There just hasn't been an opportunity for a lot of free-flowing play. Hammond back at the stripe, and now she's starting to find her groove. She has put together now 8 of the 9 points for PEE DEE Academy. That's par for the course for the Region Player of the Year, the Region Tournament MVP. Hammond's done it all except win a state title, trying to go out on top. PEE DEE hasn't won the state crown in this sport, for the girls at least, since 2008. Well, actually, as a matter of fact, the boys haven't won it since 1996 either.
Oh, wow.
So that'll be on the line tonight as they take on Hilton Head Prep. We'll have that game right after this one, so stay dialed to SkeezaTV.net for all the action. Now, what answer do the Lady Indians have? 3 ball from Lambrecht. Can she get third? No. She's got all the points thus far. Here's Annabelle Hunter. Tosses it up, doesn't fall. Here comes Hammond once again. Stops on a dime. That was smooth.
That was very impressive.
Does a little bit of everything. And if you're Jan Staudenmeyer, Orangeburg Prep's head coach, you have to wonder, at what point do you have to put Jantz back in? Nobody boxes out Katie Estes, and she's got a second chance bucket. It is a 7-point advantage here for PEE DEE Academy. Now, these are certainly uncharted territory, I should say, for Orangeburg Prep. Used to putting up 50 and even 60 points with regularity. They've gotten to 60 14 times this year. Turnaround jump shot drops, and that's Izzy Exum, somebody else who we haven't talked about a whole lot tonight. Exum and Jantz are the 2 leading scorers, the 2 posts for the Lady Indians, and again, they just haven't really been able to possess the ball on the block hardly at all tonight. So that was a bit of a longer jump shot from Exum, but she made it count to end the PEE DEE Academy run. Still a 5-point lead for the Lady Eagles. Estes back and forth with Eskridge. It's tipped and stolen. Once again, it's Exum. Nearly lost control, but resets to Hunter. And again, the Lady Indians trying to break an even longer drought, trying to win their first state title since 1991. Timeout called by PEE DEE Academy. That is a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it here. And remind you that the Spalding Legacy TF1000 is proud to be the official game ball of the South Carolina Independent School Association. Follow Spalding on Instagram to learn more. Spalding, made for the game.
And if you're not watching this game on the biggest screen in your house, why don't you go to your Apple TV 4, your Roku device, your Fire Stick, and download Boxcast, and then you'll want to tune to channel SCISA TV, and you can watch it on that big 85-inch TV you got for Christmas and see the basketball game just like you were sitting here in the Sumter County Civic Center. Thank you to all of our sponsors and everyone who helped make this day possible, including Mr. Mike Fanning and Mr. Robbie Brzezinski.
Lots to like, lots to be grateful for, and we certainly are glad to have you all along with us to enjoy this championship Saturday. Now, not only is Orangeburg Prep trying to end a long drought, but again, Jan Staudenmeyer in her 28th year as the head coach of the Lady Indians. She herself has not won a state title since her last head coaching stop way back in 1992, a year after the Lady Indians won their most recent. She's had a ton of good teams, particularly the last number of years, that just have not been able to get over the final mountain. And tonight, they have a chance to do it, but are running into a lot of cul-de-sacs defensively, just turning them around, turning them over. Not getting a lot of looks, and certainly hampered by the early 2 fouls against Jane Walker-Yantz. See when we see her back in the game. Jump shot on the way, doesn't fall for Caroline Elvington. Orangeburg Prep comes away with the rebound. Lady Indians pushing it. Here's Grayson Garrick, pulls up. Off the heel, offensive rebound. Lambrecht advances it along. Here's Exum. 15-footer doesn't fall, and it's rebounded by Rebecca Hammond. Final 3 minutes now of the first half. Juggle, but Claire Owens has it. Owens steps up. Onto the left for Niley Causey, but it's stolen. Annabelle Hunter trying to save it. And PEE DEE Academy almost wishes she hadn't tried. They could have had a breakaway, but instead she touched it while out of bounds. It is still a turnover, and it's still Lady Eagle basketball. En route to the state championship, the Lady Eagles took down First Presbyterian Academy at Shannon Forest, as well as Spartanburg Christian Academy to arrive here. And their semifinals were not unlike this. The score at halftime was 15-12, and then they started pulling away as the game went on. To the corner, Claire Eskridge. Now back to Owens. Now to the corner, Rebecca Hammond, catch and shoot. Too strong. Been able to hit 1 3 today. Not a great pass. Hammond there again for the interception. Causey, back and forth they go. I think at this point, if you're either of these teams, you really have to be choosy with your passes.
If you're looking to score.
That's a true statement. In and out game. PEE DEE's doing a nice job with ball movement. I think they've been cleaner in the half court. Eskridge gives it back up. Sydney King hasn't been looking to shoot tonight. Into the high post. Here's Hammond, always looking to shoot. Near steal. Why not sell out? 3 ball. Claire Owens. No. Tipped out and rebounded by Izzy Exum. Really solid possession for the Lady Eagles, but came up empty. Long 2 on the way. Just not falling are these jump shots for Orangeburg Prep. And now Annabelle Hunter. Back up to the top for Hannah Lambrecht. Izzy Exum made a shot from that spot before. Not now. I don't even believe that Orangeburg Prep has attempted a layup in this game. They just haven't been able to get close.
This is not the typical OP team that I'm used to watch.
Again, this is a team that's 23-1. They haven't lost since November. And they have 7 points, and it's almost halftime. They've only been held under 53 times all year. Owens, Hammond. Important to lock down defensively right here. The juggle, 3 balls straight away, no. Exum again, who's getting really strong on the glass. One of the senior leaders for Orangeburg, somebody that's trying to put the team on her back a little bit, at least in that regard. Now you got to, at this point, well, Orangeburg Prep's going to throw it away. Backcourt violation. This is impressive even by PEE DEE's standards.
Absolutely. I suspect there's going to be some significant adjustments at halftime by Coach Jan. I think she'll handled the situation.
No question. Another steal. Chance for a breakaway. What can Orangeburg Prep do with this? Delaney.
Oh!
A lot of contact. Wasn't sure exactly what happened, but another turnover. I think both of these teams' turnover totals are probably comparable to their score right now.
Better than their score, or worse, depending on how you look at it.
I don't think PD quite has 12, but they're probably close. Orangeburg Prep probably has more than 7.
There you go.
5 seconds now. Hammond, long three. Does not drop, and that's halftime. My goodness, 12-7.
What a game.
I mean, that's a rugby score. We're playing rugby,
There you go.
apparently.
There you go.
PD Academy, what a job defensively on one of the best offensive teams in the state, holding them to 7 points in the first half. What answers do the Lady Indians have? What will Jan Stoudenmeyer draw up? And what will happen with Jane Walker-Yance? I have a feeling she will play the final 16 minutes of this game, regardless of how many fouls she has, until, of course, that number's 5.
She definitely needs to.
My goodness. Well, stick around with us. You don't want to miss the end of this one. You got one team going for its first state title in 17 years and the other one for its first in 34 years. So somebody's breaking a drought. We're going to find out together.
Somebody's going to bring history to pass. So there you go. Bring history about and set some history tonight. You're watching Skeeza Basketball on SkeezaTV.net.
Remember, sports fans, the game in progress now, as well as the next one, will be streamed live. It is being streamed live on SkeezaTV.net.
10 seconds. That's all it takes for nicotine to reach your brain when you vape, affecting your heart rate, blood pressure, and ability to concentrate. Champions are made in a matter of seconds. Don't count yourself out. Stay focused on what matters. You can quit vaping. Find free resources at sedheck.gov.
We celebrate the athletes, the buzzer beaters, the record breakers, the wins. Now, it's time to celebrate the people behind it all. The advice givers, the community shapers, the game changers, the life changers. It's time to celebrate our coaches. Join all of us at BSN Sports and show your coach some love by sharing their story with #ThankYouCoach.
Hello, hello. Welcome. Please make yourself comfortable. Okay, let's start by watching a short video.
All kinds of kids like vape inside the bathrooms at school.
They are so easy to hide.
I just kind of tried it because it looked cool.
It looks cool.
I want to talk to my parents.
Really easy to get.
Nobody knows.
I don't know how.
My dad's great. He's just not so easy to talk to.
Feeling down? The nicotine in vapes affects your brain's serotonin levels, messing with your mood and throwing off your game. What starts as subtle side effects can quickly have serious consequences on your mental and physical health. Find free quit support options at www.quitnowsc.org.
"10 seconds. That's all it takes for nicotine to reach your brain when you vape, affecting your heart rate, blood pressure, and ability to concentrate. Champions are made in a matter of seconds. Don't count yourself out. Stay focused on what matters. You can quit vaping. Find free resources at sedheck.gov.
chemicals and toxins in vapes damage your lungs, making it harder for you to be at your best. The nicotine in vapes also makes it harder to focus and can make feelings of anxiety and stress even worse. So ditch the vape and elevate your game. Learn more at BehindTheHaze.com. Folks, you've been on your feet tonight. Cheering for your team. Now you can get on your feet if you would like to win a Behind the Haze player backpack. The South Carolina Department of Health and Environmental Control provided player backpacks for various people in the stands. If you would like to have one, get on your feet. A representative will come by and give you one while supplies last. When excellence is considered the standard for your basketball tournament, only one ball can be considered for exclusive use in all games. And that, of course, is Spalding. The original rules of basketball, written by Dr. James Naismith himself when he created his new game, stated that the Spalding basketball shall be the official ball. Spalding was true to the game then and remains true to the game of basketball today. That's why the TF1000 Legacy model is being used exclusively in all tournament games. So whether it's basketball or softball, football, volleyball, or baseball, you name the sport, Spalding leads the way. Champion Shoes Johnston, specializing in celebrating the moments that matter since 1897. Johnston's is proud. And the court, gentlemen. Johnston's is proud to be the official championship ring partner to the South Carolina Independent School Association. Johnston's wishes good luck to all the teams and participants in the tournament, and Johnston's looks forward to creating your story. Clear the court, please, gentlemen. Our valued partners at BSN Sports, the largest provider of team sports equipment and apparel in the country, would like to thank all coaches on the court and those in the stands today as well. While BSN Sports is the best at equipping athletes for 25 South Carolina Independent School Association basketball championship gear by visiting the on-site store here at the Civic Center today. It's on the left as you enter the Civic Center. There are lots of great options to choose from: t-shirts, sweatshirts, even sweatpants this year. And the staff at Northwest Designs will be happy to customize your order. A special package is available for Championship Saturday today. This will make a great gift idea for your athlete participating in the tournament.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. We're back and getting ready for the third quarter in this game. We'd like to say hello to our folks. We've had viewers from all over the place, but specifically it tells me 18 states and 2 countries. And it looks like maybe we've had some good friends from England, maybe from one of our Air Force bases, stop by and join us. Glad you could be a part of this, and folks from all over the East Coast watching and enjoying their players. Hey, tell somebody and thank our sponsors for supporting SkeezaTV.net. Now back to Brett Williams, and we're glad you're here.
Thank you, Arthur, as we indeed are, and we are in for quite the treat, I think, over the final 2 quarters of this girls 2A state championship game between the PEE DEE Academy Lady Eagles, who are trying to win their first title in 17 years as they turn it over here, and the Orangeburg Prep Lady Indians trying to win their first title in double that time, 34 years. Orangeburg Prep is nursing a 21-game winning streak. They haven't lost since November 26th. It was their only loss of the season as they turn it right back over. And PEE DEE Academy is 22-4 on the season with no real bad losses to speak of on their resume either. So no question the best 2 teams in the state are here. One is an elite defense, and that certainly is winning the job today. PEE DEE Academy, as we've told you, if you were here with us in the first half, is they have held 15 opponents on the year. That's over half of their opponents to 25 points or less. So obviously on track to do that here, but that would be quite something against Orangeburg Prep that has scored 50 or more in all but 3 of their games. Very uncharacteristic performance offensively thus far for Orangeburg Prep, but a lot of it might have to do with the fact that that young lady who just got the rebound, Jane Walker-Yantz, was on the bench virtually the entire half after picking up 2 fouls in the first 30 seconds of the game. She commits a traveling violation here that does not sit well with the Orangeburg Prep fans, who are probably a bit antsy now that Yantz is back in the game and hoping that that breaks something open for them. It has been 5 points from Hannah Lambrecht and 2 from Izzy Exum. That is it for Orangeburg Prep. Ball is loose on the floor. This has been the story of the game too. Turnovers, jump balls, fights for loose balls. Just grinding it out moment by moment, tile by tile on the hardwood. So what can they do here? What adjustments is you mentioned, Arthur, going into our halftime break, did Jan Staudenmeyer make? 28 years the head coach at Orangeburg Prep, still looking for a state title. This is a team that has come so close. Last year, their only loss was in the Final Four at state. They were undefeated until then. So they've been in this situation where they feel like they're the favorites and weren't able to finish it. As a matter of fact, since the onset of the pandemic, this is the 5th year since that, they've only lost 11 times.
Wow.
But they have not won a state title.
I know they're always hunting around this place. We'll see if they can catch the prey they're looking for today.
Involved player to Hammond. Free throws to come. It is Jane Walker-Yantz and 1.
There you go. There's a difference maker.
And that is the first points in, that's the first 2 points in the paint all game long for Orangeburg Prep. Yantz trying to make it a 3-point play. I believe this is the first free throw that Orangeburg Prep has attempted. Doesn't go, but an offensive rebound by Grayson Garrick. Yantz is fouled, and PEE DEE doesn't like it. I think there's probably a legitimate gripe there. I didn't see much. They get Claire Eskridge for this. So that's 3 quick fouls in the second half against PEE DEE Academy now. The lob into Hunter. And now to Lambrecht. Had the only points for the Lady Indians in the first quarter. Hunter tosses it up, long 2, nope. But another offensive rebound as all of a sudden Grayson Garrick is having her way on the glass. That was ambitious. Well, Orangeburg Prep has held the ball for a vast majority of the first minute 45 here of quarter number 3. Here's Lambrecht, open from the wing. Left it well short. And now the press is on. This has foiled PEE DEE quite a bit today. And it happens again. Annabelle Hunter with a steal. Hunter with space, finds an open Lambrecht. In and out, there's Yantz. And she drops it in.
There you go.
The link that's been missing.
That looked like some basketball.
Changes the complexion, although.
Oh my. Not what I wanted.
And I think 2 immediate reactions to that. Number 1, that's not a foul you should be committing, regardless of how many fouls you have, but particularly in that situation. And number 2, I don't think Coach Staudenmeyer is going to care. I think she's going to care that she committed the foul, but she's not going to change anything at this point. So 3 on Yantz. She remains in. There's 3 on Katie Estes in blue, and she's on the bench. Check that. She's just back in the game. So here we go with Estes now back in the game. This is going to be something to watch. You might not think on the surface that a 12-11 basketball game is interesting. I beg to differ. This is a very compelling game. It's just been played very unconventionally. Annabelle Hunter, full steam ahead. Driving baseline, the kick. Here's Exum. Dips it off.
Pass.
Hunter just has not been able to drop one in. She has been taking a lot of long twos today. Exum loves that left elbow jump shot, and she cans that one to give Orangeburg Prep the lead. PEE DEE Academy hasn't scored in a long time, not in this half and not even for a while before halftime. But they will draw a foul. Who's this on? That's on Exum. That's her first. And this will put Claire Eskridge at the line. 50% free throw shooter on the season. Banks it in.
Nice free throw.
Don't see that all the time. Sometimes I wonder, truthfully, why more people don't do that, because if you can hit that target, center of the square, more often than not, it should go in.
There you go. That's what you do.
Tried to do it there, but left it just a bit short. Great save, a little palm slap by Lambrecht, gets it to her teammate, and Garrick took steps before stepping into that shot. Don't get sidelined by vaping. Dangerous chemicals and toxins in vapes damage your lungs, making it harder for you to be at your best. The nicotine in vapes also makes it harder to focus and can make feelings of anxiety and stress worse. So ditch the vape. Elevate your game. Learn more at BehindTheHaze.com. 4:45 to go in this third quarter. Baker's dozen apiece. Eskridge and Claire Owens. Here's Hammond, open from three. Hammond's gone a bit cold all of a sudden. Another excellent effort on the jump ball to get possession right back to PEE DEE. That's Eskridge.
She knew exactly what she was doing there, didn't she?
She sure did. They are making nothing easy on Orangeburg Prep. Quick ball movement. Eskridge inside. It was read by Exum. What a save. No, she stepped on the baseline. Incredible anticipation. Hammond, nice shake to get Delaney off of her. Now up top, Claire Owens from three. Got it!
Wow!
Ending the PEE DEE Academy scoring drought and putting the Lady Eagles back in front by 3. That sponsors the cheer, or that prompts, I should say, the cheers from their bench and from their crowd, which will only augment themselves following a traveling call. Approaching the halfway mark of quarter number 3. PEE DEE Academy trying to break a 17-year state title drought. Orangeburg Prep a 34-year state title drought. No dynasties here. Hammond in the corner.
Oh, wow. So close.
Not to be. Offensive rebound. PEE DEE resets. This is Eskridge. Has a good look. Owens. Did she get another? Not quite. Estes. Stolen. Cleanly by Mary Legree Delaney. Fast break opportunity. She's fouled, and that's going to be 4 on Estes. That might be 1-2 where you may just have to let up.
That's what I was thinking. I don't know that that one was all worth it, though she didn't get the points then.
So now to the line goes Mary Legree Delaney, one of the 2 youngest players on this varsity squad for the Lady Indians. She's a sophomore. The cheerleaders for PEE DEE were chanting, "Miss it, miss it." That's what happened.
Another 10 minutes of basketball on the clock. 4 fouls makes that a little harder.
This one definitely hangs in the balance. Delaney 1 for 2.
There you go.
16-14 PEE DEE. Eskridge dribbling through a lot of traffic, and successfully so, but that has to be a travel, and it is. That is head coach Megan Thomas of PEE DEE Academy chatting with the official. She didn't like the contact toward Caroline Elvington.
That's right.
got to give Thomas some credit. I wasn't able to talk to her in the pregame. I mentioned talking with her assistant coach, Scott Webster, because she was holding her young child, and I didn't want to mess up a little, mother moments. Yeah. But turns out it's all in the family because Webster is there's a bunch of names here. Webster is Thomas's father, so her father is her assistant coach, which is pretty cool. And also the statistician for PEE DEE Academy, Kevin Hammond, is of course Rebecca's father. So
there you go.
There's a lot of connections there. Izzy Exum hits her first free throw now, trying to make it 2 for 2. Rim was unkind, and that's 4 on Yance. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Well.
We've seen that they definitely need her.
The plot thickens, and now I think
they're going to take her out
they have
for a little
to.
bit. Yep.
So now Estes and Yance both on the bench, one on each side with 4 fouls in a 16-15 game. Who said defensive struggles aren't fun? This is entertaining. Claire Owens brings it across half court. Nearly stolen, not yet. Orangeburg Prep's road to states also had a first-round bye and then beat Greenwood Christian and Hilton Head Prep. Yance, case in point, had a double-double against the Dolphins in the semifinals as Owens lets fly and drains another one. Claire Owens with 2 threes in the second half. She's responsible for 6 of her team's 7 points since the break. Exum, how did that pass even get through? Trying to get a steal off of Hammond. Oh. That should have been a foul, not called. It turns into a turnover and a layup. Megan Thomas exasperated over on the PEE DEE side. So too is Katie Estes.
Not happy.
And now a timeout called by PEE DEE. It's going to be another 30-second timeout, so we will keep it here. PEE DEE down to 3 full timeouts, and now Scott Webster not happy. Our partners at BSN Sports, the largest provider of team sports equipment and apparel in the country, would like to thank all coaches on the court and in the crowd today. While BSN Sports is the best at equipping athletes, coaches are the best at equipping lives, and that's the real final score. Learn more at bsnsports.com.
And we are definitely thankful for great coaches like that.
We certainly are. And frankly, I will say, got to give credit to the officials in this game because this is a tough game to officiate. The way this is being played, there's so many attempts to reach and steal. I don't mind them letting them play.
Right.
Sometimes they're going to make mistakes. I think that was one of them, but it is what it is.
That's right.
I certainly don't think this game has been one-sided official-wise.
No,
I think
no, not at all.
Pretty much all the fouls against both Yance and Estes have been legitimate. I'd have to go back and maybe look at the 2 that were called in the first minute. You don't see that very often, but either way. Now stolen by Lambrecht. Orangeburg Prep down a pair.
Oh.
Look at that. Jump ball. Possession arrow still favors the Lady Indians. But again, depending on a way a game gets played, you could call a reach there. I'm glad they didn't. But it's interesting.
They've let them play and tried to keep it to a minimum. But this has definitely been some aggressive basketball.
Certainly has. Ooh. A lot of ball movement. Exum in traffic. She'll go to the line. This is going to be the first on Sydney King.
2 shots to Izzy Exum, number 15 for the Indians.
Exum a pretty nice stroke at the line. Not quite that time. She had 13 points, led the team in scoring in the semifinal win over Hilton Head Prep. And then, as I was just starting to say before the last 3 was made, Yance had a double-double in that game, 11 points, 16 boards. And the Lady Indians come up empty on that possession. Can't corral the rebound. It's a lob pass, somehow gets through to Hammond. Popcorned up by Lambrecht, saved by Elvington. 90 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Another near steal. Orangeburg Prep just keeps selling out, and why not? It's working. But a foul line turnaround dropped in by King. And she's into the score sheet. 2-possession lead. That is significant. That ball's last touched by the Lady Eagles. This is certainly territory, obviously, that Orangeburg Prep is not used to this year, but in the concept of at the state tournament, it's starting to be the nightmare relived again, or they just haven't been able to break through. Obviously, they still can. There's plenty of time left, but I just have to bring that up as context. That was a punch.
Wow.
What on earth was that?
How did they make that happen?
Preston Sherrill Knight with a left fist. If you can't get the ball to drop through any other way, why not do that?
Play some volleyball.
And now she comes up with a near steal. Can she save it? Not quite. I'm dead serious, Arthur. This is riveting. This is legitimately riveting basketball.
You don't know what's coming up next.
And there is so much on the line for both of these teams. A lot of seniors trying to go out on top. Schools trying to break title droughts. Curses trying to be lifted. No question that PD won the stylistic battle. Now can they win the game? I think Owens may have gotten away with a walk that time. Here's Eskridge. Stonewalled by Hunter.
20 seconds remaining in third quarter.
Eskridge again pulls up, hacked from behind. That goes on Lambrecht. It's her first. And now Eskridge back to the stripe. She banked it in the first time. Clearly that's her way of going about it. Scott Webster, her assistant coach, told me in the pregame that Eskridge has become a true vocal leader for these Lady Eagles, as one of the most invested players. And that is tipped by Eskridge. That's just a bang-bang series of deflections. It was right in front of the PD bench, who disagrees, and certainly that makes sense as to why they would disagree. Hunter into Exum. That steps.
Oops.
So if you're both of these coaches, do you put Janssen Estes back in the game to start the fourth quarter, or do you let it ride a little bit?
I think I'd let it ride a little bit.
Lambrecht.
As
another
long
deflection.
as it stays close, if it starts getting one way or the other, I think I'd change direction. But
trouble is with this game, you almost can't let it get not close.
Can't let it that's right.
That's a 5-second call. So Orangeburg Prep will have a chance to tie or cut into the lead at the end of the third.
Let's see what happens here.
Delaney checks in. Lambrecht out. That's interesting. Lambrecht perhaps their best outside shooter. Hunter got to get it in the air. 3 seconds, 2, up.
Oh!
Not quite. There's the quarter. 22-19, PD Academy. 3 quarters down, 1 quarter to go. Somebody's walking away as the state champion. Going to be a dogfight for the final 8 minutes. You don't want to miss it.
You're watching Skiza TV on skizatv.net.
"10 seconds. That's all it takes for nicotine to reach your brain when you vape, affecting your heart rate, blood pressure, and ability to concentrate. Champions are made in a matter of seconds. Don't count yourself out. Stay focused on what matters. You can quit vaping. Find free resources at sedheck.gov.
We celebrate the athletes, the buzzer beaters, the record breakers, the wins. Now, it's time to celebrate the people behind it all. The advice givers, the community shapers, the game changers, the life changers. It's time to celebrate our coaches, Join all of us at BSN Sports and show your coach some love by sharing their story with #ThankYouCoach.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching SkeezaTV.net. Coming into the final quarter, we're going to find out who's going to break their championship drought as Mr. Brett. There we go. I tried to say Brad. I'm sorry.
That's okay. We're glad to have you all along with us. Brett Williams and Arthur Sharp here with you from the Sumter County Civic Center. 22-19 PD Academy. Almost was 21, but it was not. Exum stepped on the sideline, leaping into the deflection. So let's reset here. PD Academy hasn't won a state title in girls basketball since 2008. Orangeburg Prep hasn't since 1991. We build this as offense versus defense. PD Academy has certainly won out in its defensive-minded structure. This is an Orangeburg Prep team, we'll remind you, that has only been held under 50 points 3 times all season. They've been held to 19 in this game through 3 quarters. Each team has a player with 4 fouls. That's been a big story of this one. Jane Walker-Yantz is that player, one of the leading scorers, the team leaders for Orangeburg Prep. She is back in to start this 4th quarter, and you saw there, Arthur, she left the gate open a little bit because she knew she could not foul out of the game. And now Jan Staudenmeyer uses a timeout with her team down 5. That is a large margin the way this game is being played. It is a full timeout. We'll take one with her.
Hello, hello. Welcome. Please make yourself comfortable. Okay, let's start by watching a short video.
All kinds of kids like vape inside the bathrooms at school.
They are so easy to hide.
I just kind of tried it because it looked cool.
It looks cool. I want to talk to my parents.
Really easy to get.
Nobody knows.
I don't know how.
My dad's great. He's just not so easy to talk to.
Feeling down? The nicotine in vapes affects your brain's serotonin levels, messing with your mood and throwing off your game. What starts as subtle side effects can quickly have serious consequences on your mental and physical health. Find free quit support options at www.quitnowsc.org.
And we're back.
Coming out of the Orangeburg Prep timeout. They trail by 5. They go to number 5. It's Yantz. You have to figure if the Lady Indians are going to win this game, Yantz has to stay clean, not commit her 5th foul. Another 5-second call against PD Academy. That's the 2nd time we've seen that in about a minute and a half of game time. Orangeburg Prep has certainly matched PD in terms of its defensive ruggedness tonight. It's loose, it's stolen. PD Academy answers right back. So now Katie Estes is back in as well. So both players with 4 fouls are in the game. It seems though Estes certainly has impacted PD a lot tonight. It feels like Yantz is a bigger cornerstone for what her team wants to do than Estes is for PD. Here's Hammond down low. And Rebecca Hammond, who averages 18.5 per game, her team doesn't have that much more, but she's getting the buckets when she needs to. Trying to go out a state champion. Annabelle Hunter trying to feed the post. Too high for Yantz. She was fronted by Estes, and I think that probably was a bit too ambitious a pass. I understand the point. But the alleyways are often blocked tonight. Here's Estes. Eskridge surveying her options. Into the front court. 6 minutes to go. Estes way up top. Yantz giving her space. Nearly a moving screen, not called. Down low, Claire Owens. It's the largest lead of the game for either side. 7 points in favor of PD. And that's a traveling call. And another timeout called by Jan Staudenmeyer as all of a sudden the pressure is really on Orangeburg Prep now.
For sure. We'll be back right after this.
10 seconds. That's all it takes for nicotine to reach your brain when you vape, affecting your heart rate, blood pressure, and ability to concentrate. Champions are made in a matter of seconds. Don't count yourself out. Stay focused on what matters. You can quit vaping. Find free resources at sedheck.gov.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We hope you're having a good time tonight. Want you to know there's one more game coming up, and you do not want to miss that game because it's going to be the nightcap for the evening when the boys from PD are going to be playing Hilton Head Prep. And based on this game, you can't go by who's favorites and who's what. This game has turned into a whoever's going to get it.
No question.
It has been a fight to the very end, so let's see what happens here.
It's all about toughness in this one. PD's had trouble getting the ball in this second half. They're able to this time. We'll remind you, just because it's worth saying just how remarkable what we're seeing is, Orangeburg Prep has only been held under 50 points 3 times all season. They are a 23-1 team that hasn't lost since November. Here's Yantz, corner 3.
Oh, wow.
Why not? PD Academy has absolutely done a number on Orangeburg Prep. Lady Indians offense has been out of sorts from the jump, and they've only got 5 minutes to try to fix it, or their state title drought will continue in perhaps the most maddening way of them all. Estes, Eskridge. Claire Owens hit 2 threes earlier this half, not to be a third, rebounded by Yantz. Jane Walker-Yantz, not the ball handler Orangeburg Prep wants. Hunter is. Hannah Lambrecht, she's been quiet offensively since those 2 buckets early in the game. Tries to slip it through to Yantz, not on the same page. Rebecca Hammond the other way, loses control, and it's stolen by Lambrecht, then off the foot of Owens, and a timeout called by Megan Thomas. That's a brilliant timeout by the PD head coach.
It just gets a little bit more interesting. So we'll be back in just a moment. Don't go away. You'll want to watch this.
10 seconds. That's all it takes for nicotine to reach your brain when you vape, affecting your heart rate, blood pressure, and ability to concentrate. Champions are made in a matter of seconds. Don't count yourself out. Stay focused on what matters. You can quit vaping. Find free resources at sedheck.gov.
Feeling down? The nicotine in vapes affects your brain's serotonin levels, messing with your mood and throwing off your game. What starts as subtle side effects can quickly have serious consequences on your mental and physical health. Find free quit support options at www.quitnowsc.org.
.4:14 left here in the Skiza Girls 3A State Championship game. PD Academy leading by 7 in a low-scoring affair, trying to make it 9. Here's Rebecca Hammond. She's got it. And now Orangeburg Prep has to go. Those 3 times this season they've been held under 50, 47, 45, and then 36 in their lone loss. They likely won't even get there today. Exum with a bucket, 4 minutes to go, still time, especially if they can force turnovers. They almost did, but not there. And now a foul long way from the bucket, called on Annabelle Hunter, her second. Make that her third, rather. Slip pass, beautiful to Owens, and all of a sudden, The floodgates starting to come open for the PD offense. Another 9-point edge. Lady Eagles tasting it. Here's Yance. Hunter. Shots have to start falling for Orangeburg Prep like that if the Lady Indians are to forge a comeback. Eskridge. Owens. Here come the Lady Eagles. In some trouble. Gets it free. Hammond. Able to spurt it out. Eskridge thought better than to take an early shot clock 3. 6-point advantage for PD Academy. Hammond runs into traffic and she's fouled. That goes against Preston Sherrill Knight. It's her first, team second. So baseline out of bounds to come. Another timeout, this called by Orangeburg Prep. And it is another full timeout, so we will step aside.
10 seconds. That's all it takes for nicotine to reach your brain when you vape, affecting your heart rate, blood pressure, and ability to concentrate. Champions are made in a matter of seconds. Don't count yourself out. Stay focused on what matters. You can quit vaping. Find free resources at sedheck.gov.
Hello, hello. Welcome. Please make yourself comfortable. Okay, let's start by watching a short video.
All kinds of kids like vape inside the bathrooms at school.
They are so easy to hide.
I just kind of tried it because it looked cool.
It looks cool. I want to talk to my parents.
Really easy to get.
Nobody knows.
I don't know how.
My dad's great. He's just not so easy to talk to.
.247 remains here. PD Academy up by 6. To the corner for Katie Estes as they go for their first state title in 17 years and try to once again push the carrot dangling out in front of the Lady Indians further another year. A lot of dribbling from Eskridge. Katie Estes slowing it down. Going to play a lot of keep away here. And now a foul on Yance. That'll do it.
No. Oh, my. Bless her.
And that might be the inauspicious end to Jane Walker Yance's outstanding career with the Lady Indians.
Oh, my.
She can't believe it. I know I said early shot clock a moment ago, but there really is no shot clock. So at this point, if you're Orangeburg Prep, you've got to force a turnover. PD has no incentive to do anything but hold the ball.
And do exactly what they're doing.
Exactly. Their ball movement has been crisper on the whole today, particularly in the half court. Orangeburg Prep has to find a way to steal the ball somehow. I guess to Yance's credit, that's what she was trying to do. Now a double team jump ball, and that'll do it. Orangeburg Prep basketball. So it's still not over. It is a 6-point game.
Absolutely not.
There is plenty more to be determined here. And it's not exactly that either team's been making a lot of free throws, so if it turns into a free throw game, who knows?
Oh.
Turnover.
But you can't do things like that.
You can't do that. Elvington, and she's fouled, bumped by Garrick. That's her second. That was the last foul to give that the Lady Indians have, so the next one will put PD on the line. And I think if you're Orangeburg Prep, you pretty much have to do that and just try to get the ball back as quickly as possible. Stolen, Exum. Turns it right back over. Elvington lays it in.
Wow.
She's fired up. Everybody on the bench leaping. 8-point lead for PD Academy. Long two. Short. It looked good. Didn't drop for Sherrill Knight. Lady Indians have to not panic right now. They just got to get quality shots and knock them down.
That's
Lambrecht on a cross. Garrick doesn't go. Rebound. Owens Stolen by Exum. Got to turn it around quickly. Exum zips it too high.
Got to calm it down and play basic fundamental basketball.
And now a timeout by Megan Thomas of PD Academy. Trying to make sure they can get this ball in. It has to be a full timeout. That's all they have left.
And we'll be back right after this.
Feeling down? The nicotine in vapes affects your brain's serotonin levels, messing with your mood and throwing off your game. What starts as subtle side effects can quickly have serious consequences on your mental and physical health. Find free quit support options at www.quitnowsc.org.
"10 seconds. That's all it takes for nicotine to reach your brain when you vape, affecting your heart rate, blood pressure, and ability to concentrate. Champions are made in a matter of seconds. Don't count yourself out. Stay focused on what matters.
And we're back.
Final minute and 3 seconds here. PD once again has to get the ball in. They don't. 5-second violation. It's still a 3-possession game, though. And let's see what Orangeburg Prep does. Hunter nearly turns it over again. Izzy Exum on the way in. Floater in the lane. Gets the friendly roll. 6-point game. Hammond inbounds it to Estes, who finds Eskridge. Now, if you're Orangeburg Prep, you have to foul. And that's what Hunter does. That's her 4th. And so Claire Eskridge to the line. Again, a 50% free throw shooter on the season, and I believe today as well. I think she's gone 2 of 4, if I'm not mistaken. If she makes either one, it's a 3-possession game. She doesn't make the first. We'll see if she makes the second. PD's in really good shape. If she misses, Orangeburg Prep will try to rebound. And that's a lane violation. Didn't matter. She made the shot. And so it is a 3-possession game. 35-28 PD Academy. Orangeburg Prep running out of time. Hannah Lambrecht's got to get it in the air. She does. She cans a 3.
Oh, wow. Where was that?
And here we go. The clock's still running. The clock is still running. Orangeburg Prep has to foul, and they do. That's Garrick, her 3rd. Eskridge will go back to the stripe, but now, even if Eskridge makes both, it's a 2-possession game, 32.9 on the clock. PD Academy has 1 full timeout left. Orangeburg Prep has 2 30s. That's where we sit. We'll take this opportunity to remind you that Champions choose Jostens, specializing in celebrating the moments that matter since 1897. Jostens is proud to be the official championship ring partner of the South Carolina Independent School Association. Good luck to all the teams. We look forward to creating your story. And now I think Jan Staudenmeyer is going to essentially try to ice Claire Eskridge on the second free throw attempt.
What would
30
seconds left?
30 seconds left. The good news for Staudenmeyer, for her team regardless, is that even if Eskridge makes the second free throw, it's still a 2-possession game. But make no mistake, Orangeburg Prep needs more possessions like the last couple that it's had, with Exum hitting the runner and then Lambrecht hitting the 3.
Lambrecht needs to find a couple of those in their back pocket. 32.9 seconds remaining here in the 4th quarter. Live from the Sumter Civic Center. And after this game, we'll be bringing you the 3A boys.
Second free throw. No good. Rebounded offensively by Hammond and lays it in. It's still a 2-possession game, 25 seconds left. In the corner, up top, Hunter swings it over. Lambrecht, left wing 3. It's short, rebound, won by Orangeburg Prep. Hunter, they've got to get another shot up. It's Lambrecht, back to Hunter, straightaway 3. No, Exum.
8 seconds.
8 seconds now. In the air again. Delaney for three. Got it. It's a 3-point game. Timeout, Orangeburg Prep.
Wow.
Oh, my. All right, so here's the deal. Again, it's only 3 seconds left, and Orangeburg Prep can advance the ball. They're out of timeouts. So if PD Academy does get this ball in, Orangeburg Prep has to foul and is pretty much going to need a miracle at that point. They would need both free throws to be missed and then somehow get a runner from about half court to go. But
it is possible.
It is possible, especially because PD Academy has committed 3 5-second inbounds violations in this second half. So they have had trouble getting the ball in. They do have 1 timeout left. So if it's getting close to a 5 count, someone has to call timeout for PD, and I think that's what Megan Thomas is chatting about with the officials. She's confirming I've got 1 timeout, right? So here we go.
What a game.
This is unbelievable. They do get it into Owens. It's almost stolen.
1 second.
Lambrecht, stolen again. PD Academy's done it. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
That was a fitting end to that game, Arthur.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
PD was able to get the ball in, but Hannah Lambrecht, and I did notice the possession arrow was favoring PD, so it wasn't like a jump ball could have flipped it back to Orangeburg, but Lambrecht went for the steal, got the steal, but just happened to be on her knees and could not do anything with it. She really didn't even have time to pass the ball, but she had to because she couldn't shoot from her knees, and she was inside the arc, so even if she had and it would have somehow made it, her team would have ended up 1 point short anyway. Instead, they come up 3 points short, and I think the celebration that you just saw from PD Academy says it all because this team, I think to some degree, I think they're probably a little bit shocked at what they just did.
Absolutely.
Because, again, and this is me just getting a read from what I talked to with Scott Webster about in the pregame. He said verbatim to me, they are the better team, referring to Orangeburg Prep. He said, so what we're going to have to do is play really good defense, try to keep this game close, and if so, maybe they get tight, speaking of Orangeburg Prep. Game plan executed to perfection.
That's right.
And it's the lowest scoring total for Orangeburg Prep the entire season. Rebecca Hammond, the all-timer for PD, gets to go out on top, along with her fellow seniors Katie Estes, Kendall Larimore, Caroline Elvington, Claire Owens, and Claire Eskridge. So many of them played such a big role in this season and this night. PD Academy, state champions in girls basketball for the first time since 2008. And for third-year head coach Megan Thomas, what a team, what a season, and what a finish. Absolute heartbreak for Orangeburg Prep, who lose only their second game of the season. They end 23-2, and their drought effort. This was unbelievable toughness on both sides, and it turns out the PD Academy gets the victory today. What a contest.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've been watching a production of Skiza via skizatv.net. Come back in just a few moments as we reset for our next game. 3A boys, PD versus Hilton Head. We're going to see if we can have another matchup just like the last one. God bless you, and we'll see you back in just a few moments.